Okay, any views expressed are the opinion of the guest. That's not a representation because the programming reflects that PoPolitickin with 4 eyes. It's really no competition. Suffocating with the dope, you know I be twisting. Real ninjas out in the field, now we cotton picking. Not to mention our intention to cover topics and many of the subjects. I got more lines than the deli at the Publix. With King Pharaoh, PoPolitickin, I'm pistol whipping. Rappers jeopardizing hip-hop position. My opposition, intuition, prediction like writers on The Simpsons. To witness the glimpses from higher up dimensions. My bitches be fighting gremlins like Phoebe Cates. Let me cook, stovetop oven, easy bakes. Hydroponic with them seaweed flakes. Yeah, these rappers started from the bottom, power bottom. TD Jakes, unfollowed. Talking about have you ever been swallowed? Regardless of race, color, or creed, you get Apollo'd. We PoPolitickin, ticking, we straight PoPolitickin, ticking. When it's a great show, you got to listen. Listen to that PoPolitickin, ticking. This for the PoPolitickin, ticking. We straight PoPolitickin, ticking. When it's a great show, you got to listen. Listen to that PoPolitickin, ticking.
All right, welcome back to Lambo Truck Radio. Yeah. Now I'm messing with y'all. All right, welcome back to
Lambo Truck Podcast.
Yeah, Lambo Truck Podcast. I like that. Welcome back to PoPolitickin, your home for hip hop. Right now we're live on YouTube, X, Twitch, a lot of good stuff. 1212. I'm in the place to be with Abstract Mindstate. How y'all doing today?
What's good?
All right. Glad to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad to be interviewing y'all. Like I said, DJ Edition told me about y'all. Then I went across the link to music. I was like, man, this music is really dope. Like, I was like, man, it was really good. Like, I don't have nothing to say. Like, I don't got nothing to say bad. Like, it was dope. EP, you on there spitting.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, EP got that heat, but like I said, it's really good music. And it's like, I think I was reading the article and they said, Ye said like the people need it. It's good for healing. And I'm the same way. Like, that's some feel good music y'all got going on.
Man, we appreciate it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt. And I just want to kind of take it back a little bit. I just want to talk about how did y'all meet? Look like you said y'all met like over 20 years ago.
20.
Older, a little more farther than that.
We met at 90.
Oh, okay.
We met in 1990. We stepped out the game for 16 years, so 20. It's been 18 since, you know. Yeah.
So how did y'all meet?
Yeah. Boy, this story. We met at the outside of the train station on the way home for spring break. We both attended Jackson State University. We didn't know each other here in Chicago. We met outside of the train station going home for spring break.
Wait, it Christmas? I thought it was Christmas. You said spring break. Was it Christmas?
Well, it was Christmas for break.
Yeah, one of them breaks. One of them breaks. Look, we keep yeah.
So how was Jackson State back then when y'all was going?
The same way it is now. I love
super live, super live. It was just they having just as much fun now as we did back then. One thing I can say that they getting to enjoy more than us is the renovation. You know, they gotta definitely have an upgrade, but it's the same old fun we was having. They having right now. You know.
And then since y'all are Jackson State alum, I want to ask y'all about the a lot of people was talking about the Prime effect. So how do y'all feel about Coach Prime coming there? Yeah. You know, staying for a couple years, leaving. What do y'all think about that?
Well, you know, EP the sports person, but I'll just my answer is quick. I just say the effect he had was positive, and it was really it was really a vibe, I say, you know, because of the energy he brought, his presence of who he was and his legacy and all that. I just personally don't like the way he left. I mean, I understand him leaving. I just felt like he left kind of, it's just the way he left. It could have been better. Like, it was very abrupt and very, you know, I don't know. It just seemed like it was a better way to exit than how he did. Like, you know, right when they at the championship, it was just a better way to me. I didn't like how he left. I wasn't trying to hold him back. You know, his money and his life. Although he stood on the soapbox and preached that it wasn't about money and God brought him there and all that. But you know, that's, you know, I just don't like how he left. So that's it.
So I like the fact that someone with that much shine on him, they also shined a light on HBCUs, because we've had celebrity coaches at HBCUs, but they weren't as celebrated as Deion Sanders. And along with his presence, he bought a lot of money funding for the SWAC period. A lot of now famous athletes will be coaching at HBCUs now, because they see the spirit and the appreciation that they wouldn't get from PWC. So I think I may agree with Greg with Olskool about how he left. I think it would have been more apropos if he would have just finished his commitment.
Right.
Finished his commitment, then went ahead and broke out. But I do understand, from being a person that started off watching college football before I even started watching the NFL, the lure to teach or to coach at one of those schools. Because I remember when Colorado was that school. A lot of people probably didn't watch it. Yes. Cordell, I remember when Colorado had the best running backs, the best, like Alabama was always a thing, but to be asked, and that was when Deion Sanders was in college. When he went to Florida State, Colorado was a powerhouse. So I think the lure of just being asked to coach at those type of schools was like, it overcame the loyalty that he had to work at a HBCU. And I think pretty much he did all he could do for Jackson State and for HBCUs, because he brought the shine. He brought, people know that we exist now. We've never been on TV this much. And now it's basketball. They got SWAC basketball games on ESPN. It's going to be, baseball games are going to be, you know what I mean? So he did that. That was him, So I'm not like, I'm not bitter. I'm understanding of it. I just wish he would have, just did a little bit, gave a little 2-week notice, like,
right.
A proper, it just wasn't a proper exit. Because a lot of people get it twisted, like, you don't want to see that man make his money. Man, I want to see any black man make his money. But it was just how he exited, on his, and then you could say how you exited on an institution of like just it's us. That's our people. That's us. That's literally a black college.
And he had to know that when he left, his kids was coming too.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You took the core of the squad with you.
He took 100 too.
Running backs. He took the safeties. He took the core of the squad.
And my bad.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying my fear too was and it happened with a couple of celebrity athletes, because I saw a few. I was afraid of the what I want to say, like us not being taken serious now. Like, oh yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that other people like him, when they saw what he did, say, you know what? Yeah, I probably should just not, and it changed your idea of wanting to do it. You know what I mean? Because it's, and we don't know how an influence works. Sometimes influence can work negatively too. So I think
his success, because he won. Like, I think his success would probably override, with most sane people, would probably override the exit plan. You know what I mean? Like, he was really successful.
Yeah.
He was really successful. He was an excellent coach in the SWAC.
Right.
You have to, he can relate to us and we can relate to him. So.
And then So I kind of just want to. So you were saying y'all met at the bus stop.
Yeah.
So how did that end up? Y'all ended up rapping together, forming a group.
Well, yeah. So as we waited on the train, because back then Amtrak was like the key. That was like one of the top resources to go from Mississippi to Chicago. Is to ride that Amtrak, because it was such a smooth, easy, low expense way to get from school to home, and it was super fun. So while we were on that train was heading to Chicago. By the time, you know, it leveled, I can't say it leveled out, but you know how a plane does once it reaches this altitude. Now you can get up and move around. Same thing with the train. Once it gets going, it's a certain point, they let you get up and move around. And once we was able to up and move around, you know, the whole college way was to go to the bar car and just set it off. You know, we playing cards, you know, the talking, the jokes. And for us in that era, it was all about the music. So we freestyling and we kicking rhymes, and they cut the music on, and I was the MC. So I started kicking rhymes, not even realizing that we didn't invite EP to hang out with us so she can share in our libations. And when we start, you know, once we start drinking and it feeling good and laughing and camaraderie, and I started rapping, she jumped in behind me and started kicking a verse out of nowhere. I wasn't even expecting, nobody was expecting it. And after she rapped, the whole bar car kind of like went crazy to hit this female, you know, sound like she did. Like if you listen to our songs, you know, you like, whoa, to this day, it's like, whoa, right. You know, so, and that's how it was then. And I was like, whoa, man, wait a minute. What, you know, what's going on? So now I'm questioning her. What's her name? Like, is she down with a crew? And, you know, like, you know, I wanted to, you know, I'm trying to figure that out, because I'm like, you need to be down with my crew. And that's when she broke down and told me, nah, man, I'm kind of alone in this. You know, I never even been in a real major studio or anything. You know, she's like, I did a little demo. I got one song, but blah, blah, blah. And by the time we met, man, I had a whole, you know, like 6-7 song demo. I was already doing shows, you know, and everything. So my whole thing when I met EP was to help her get where we were. I was part of, like, I was supposed to be grooming her and putting her down with us and kind of like guiding her career, so to speak, you know, but it turned into a partnership. it ended up being us in a group instead of me getting her ready for a solo career.
And then I was reading it was saying y'all was the first male-female rap duo in hip-hop.
Period.
And then I was, at first I was like,
researching, didn't you? You start looking.
Yeah, I was like, nah. And then I started looking, I was like, yeah, because I was like, everybody, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's crazy when you think about it.
Yeah. It's kind of weird. And I know what happened. It's so funny for us because the first thing you think, soon as you say, nah, what you mean y'all the first male-female duo? It was the Fugees. And then you'd be like, oh, wait a minute. No, that wasn't a duo. That was a trio. Right. And then you say, well, what about Diggable Planets? Okay, well, my bad. That was a trio too.
Right.
And then somebody always totally left and say something about like artists that made songs together. Well, what about Jay-Z and Foxy? You know,
that was only one song.
Yeah, like it was a song. They wasn't a group. Like it wasn't a duo. Like we are the only male-female duo. So
it's
we
fun.
the Wonder Twins.
But I guess I just think I was like, damn, because I just look at, you know, hip hop copies a lot of R&B. So I was like, you know how they had Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell. So I was just thinking like, why nobody ever ran with that? Because they already had it in R&B. So I was like, why nobody else had it? But I was like, dang, I couldn't. Even today, I can't think of nobody.
But you know what? Even they just came together for the album. You should have said somebody like Peaches and Herb or Ashford and Simpson or you know what I'm saying, Captain and Tennille, Donnie and Marie. Like those are actual groups, you know, but it never happened in hip hop.
I think you know what it is, man. That's like, I think that shit probably be on purpose, man, just because you like, just so they're not promoting like a black man and a black woman together. So I just think that shit might be on purpose when you think about it.
Look deep.
I was like, man, why is that? That's like, that'll be so easy to do and it never been done. I mean, besides y'all. So I'm like, that's crazy.
And you know what's dope? The space was left open because we did that, you know, in the 90s, and then we walked away from it for 16 years. You know, and came back and our space was still sitting there waiting for us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, That's what I'm saying. That's why I kind of feel like it might be on purpose a little bit.
Yeah.
So I gotta ask the $1 million question. What happened for the 16 years? Why y'all what do y'all call that, break, or what do y'all call it? Why 16 years?
Our hiatus.
Right.
We just it was a mutual parting of ways because we had so many ups and downs, and more downs than ups as far as the group was concerned. And so Gre went to work with Kanye, and I went to work on getting my life straight.
Yeah. I stepped behind the scenes of the music business, and she stepped behind the scenes of her own life that she kind of neglected because of the music. And I just got away from the hustle and bustle of trying to make it as an artist. And it became more fun and I guess fulfilling, helping other artists. And I was a part of a lot of successes. And it was just like, I was just riding that out, you know?
Yeah, I saw you. I saw you was on the YZY, the documentary.
Yeah, Genius. We were both on Genius because there's a scene where Cootie, the one of the co-director and person who created the whole thing and owns all the footage, he was at our release party, Abstract Mindstate release party in the movie. But you see me all through the film because of the role I played, you know, in Kanye's life, you know.
And you also see a performance with us with Kanye.
Oh yeah, yep. Yeah. They show a scene. Yep, they sure did. They show a scene of us. We brought him out as a special guest at this club we used to have called it was the New 50, I think it was called, because we had the 50-yard line and that was like the New 50. But yeah, man. So yeah, I was all over Genius. You know, I made it through all 3 episodes because it was hard for me not to be in it because again, I worked so close with that situation for so long that was just our life. For everybody else, it was a documentary and a film, but for me, it was just my life because you know nothing was scripted. Cootie was the genius who thought it was worth recording everything we were doing, you know, because one day it would mean something, and it did.
Yeah, I was reading you're the first A&R Good Music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Good Music. As soon as he formed it, it was like he was trying to put the structure of put it together, and I saw my place because I was always helping. I was doing all the A&R, what an A&R does with him, you know, and I knew when he started the label, you know, that was one of the only. It's funny because I never really asked him for anything but that position. That was the one thing I actually said, hey, who's the A&R Good Music at the time? And he was like, yeah, nobody, you know. And I was like, that's what I want to do. And everybody was like, oh, well, when I say everybody, really Don C. It felt like I slid him some money because Don was like, oh, that's a genius idea. That's great. Yes, perfect. Olskool Ice-Gre to A&R. Yes, because everybody knew I knew how to take a record from start to finish, you know.
Then I guess I want to ask you far as because to me it feel like they don't A&R like it kind of fading away like A&R and like so what's your definition of an A&R and what an A&R supposed to do?
Yeah, well, what an A&R actually is one of the part of it is what I just said, a person that can kind of help an artist take a record from start to finish. But an A&R also is the liaison between the artist and the label, because it's so many things that you don't want to bombard the artist with to stifle the creativity, and the A&R takes up slack because the A&R is actually a creative as well, unlike a manager who's strictly business and probably don't even know how to talk the language. An A&R actually is a creative, and a lot of times a lot of A&Rs are artists or just some form of a creative themselves. So you have a lot to offer in terms of in terms of finishing a song, ideas, concepts, bringing in producers. A&R is the person that will bring, the pieces together, whether it's a producer, musicians, the things you need to complete the album. They should be able to turn to their A&R and say, hey, I need a guitar player. You don't even have to look. Your A&R got that. You know what I'm saying? And should have the relationships or Rolodex to be able to make those calls and make it happen like Johnny on the spot, so to speak. And
hey, listen, let me interject. It ain't too many people you can say, give me, because listen, even today, Ye calls Greg and say, hey, give me a man, I need KRS-One number. And Greg just go through his phone and just sit like he got everybody over. That boy, he is the industry Rolodex, straight up. It's not a joke.
Yeah, it's crazy. This is the problem I would say with music now, in my opinion, is the A&R role. You just said it. Them kind of playing out or slowly alleviating the A&R role, as well as artist development. Now, I think about those two roles. Artist development used to make sure that the artist was prepared for moments like we having with you right now. How to conduct yourself in interviews, how to carry themselves in public, how to, let's put it in current day, how to react or act on social media. That would be artist development. You would go through that in development. But then you have your A&R to make sure your record is staying on focus, like that you actually have a concept, and whatever your concept is, your A&R is there to keep driving, keeping you focused, because an artist can oftentimes be all over the place. You know what I'm saying? And so an A&R job is just trying to help their focus and drive that. So those two roles, man, when those two roles got played out, the industry, I mean, they still exist independently. You get what I'm saying? Like if you have an OVO, or like in our case, we had Good Music, or whatever your independent situation is, you can have your A&R, and it's always somebody playing the artist development role. But when the major labels just took that job or those jobs away, the music got bad, because now you got artists that got potential or talent, but they making directionless, kind of like nonsense records. You know what I mean? And it's just taking forever, and they all sounding the same. Because if it was some A&R and then some artist development, a lot of this stuff wouldn't sound the same.
Right.
Because they just alone, these artists just alone to say, oh, that's what's hot. I'm about to make a record just like that. And that's all of them are doing. So it all sounds the same now,
And then I want to take us, like I remember back in, I want to say around 2020, Ye put out the tweet. He was talking about Yeezy Sound. He had y'all name on the roster. Take us back to that time. Did y'all already know about that?
Yeah. Say it. EP say it. He had us at the top
on the roster.
Right. So did y'all already know about that, or was y'all surprised about it, or how did that go?
No, we knew about that part because prior to that, he had persuaded us to come back, because we weren't thinking about rapping. We weren't thinking about forming a group. Like Greg had started living his life, doing everything at Yeezy, other than, like, he was everything. He did everything. And I, like I said earlier, I had went back to school and I started a whole nother profession. And so I get a call from Olskool one morning. I'm getting ready to go to work, and he tells me that Kanye want to put us back out. That's 16 years since we did even a mixtape, right? So took him about 28-30 minutes to convince me that he was serious. It took Ye about 38-40 minutes to convince Gre that he was serious. And so I got out to LA. That was like maybe a Monday or Tuesday. I got to LA maybe that Saturday, or was it Friday night or Saturday? One of those,
Saturday, something like that. It was a weekend.
Ye wanted me to come that day. You know what I'm saying? But I couldn't just, I was working, so I couldn't.
Everything,
real life, right?
Yeah, he was like right now, like yeah.
So when I got out there, we went to the Energy Center and had a meeting with Kanye, and he pretty much, told us the plans and why he wanted to do it. He's like, we pretty much are needed. Our type of music that we do is needed at that time. It still is. That's prophetic.
Right. He literally said our music was gonna heal people and save lives. He said we are the elders. We have to teach the kids, and y'all always been doing that. And it's time for like a group like y'all again. And I think they need to hear it. And me and EP work with something. Being meaningful is something we can work with. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like she said, it was a little. I was a little apprehensive. She was a little apprehensive, but then when you think about it, when we really thought about it, it was like, what can we lose? Only thing we can do is gain. We were living our lives. It wasn't like we'll rap for food anymore. We were both comfortable. We were both achieved a certain level of success in what we were doing. So it was kind of like, you know what? It can't like hurt us. You know what I'm saying? Like it can't hurt us. It won't damage, you know, like marriages won't fall apart. We won't lose any houses or, you know what I mean? So we said, let's just see, you know, and Dream Still Inspired came out of that. You know, so 27 songs got recorded.
Yeah, I'm gonna say. So how long have y'all known Ye? Because it sounded like he was a fan of y'all back in the day. That's why he wanted y'all to. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was a big Abstract Mindstate. You know, like fan supporter or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's on a few of our other projects prior to him doing a project with us.
Yeah. This was just the first time that he ever like did a whole project like on us. But our very first album, he produced a track on our first album. It actually wasn't for our first album. It's just that he was on the rise as a producer. The song he did, it was called Pain. It was for you remember that show, the HBO? I don't know it was an HBO show called Oz.
Oh yeah,
you remember Oz?
That made me know I was gonna be a correction officer. And then I started watching that show, and I said, "Nah, I'm good."
You should go work at Parchment.
Yeah, I was like, "I'm good." I started watching that Oz. I was like, like this.
EP said Parchment.
I know about Parchment. Yep.
Parchment. You was gonna catch an Addy BC at Parchment now.
No, right? That shit was crazy.
But we were supposed to do that song for Oz. It was called Pain. And it was about, you know, we came up with this story of being stuck in jail or whatever, like off a mistake. You know, I got stuck in jail off a mistake. And EP it was fun. I mean, no, that was Pain. That was 26 in California. That was that story. But Pain was just like, it was for Oz. And bottom line is some things happened without getting into the long story about Oz. Some things happened where Oz, I'll just say this, Oz initially, they created a soundtrack for Oz. And it initially was for unsigned independent artists. But then when the owner of the label found out how popular that TV show was, he didn't realize what he had in his hands with the TV show, asking them to put the soundtrack together. And major label artists on the West Coast start submitting music for free because the show was so popular, they just wanted to be a part of it. And of course, the money ruled. So when people like the Dog Pound and Snoop affiliates and you know, all of these huge West Coast acts start giving them songs, the more and more the independent artists got kicked off, you know, and it became a major project. So with that being said, when we got our opportunity to have an album and we were supposed to be the biggest thing in Chicago, we was like, man, we didn't use that Kanye song. Let's put that song on our first album, which was called We Paid Let Us In. So that's how he ended up on our first album.
And then I was reading, it said you had like, well, he said he made 300 beats, but he gave you like 100 beats.
Yeah.
Wow.
We chose.
He let us
choose from 100.
How many did y'all have to listen to?
100.
Y'all listen to every one of them?
Yeah, we listen to every one of them.
Every song. Notes.
Yeah, I actually had to listen to 300 because in my position before those beats were a part of our album, I was there for him when he was making them. You know, when we was out in Wyoming when he first was making it goes even farther. I went record shopping with him to pick out the records he sampled that became what's famously known now as the Wyoming sessions, the Tiana record, the Pusha record, all of those EPs, those 7-song EPs we put out week after week, Kids See Ghosts, all that stuff.
The Nas album too?
Yeah, the Nas. I got it right here, the Nas album. We were supposed to have been the 6th album, wasn't it? 5 albums? Yeah, it was 5 weeks, 5 albums in 5 weeks. We were supposed to be, Abstract was supposed to have been the surprise 6th album. We didn't want that, and we glad it didn't happen because we were the only ones out of that group that was kind of like the wild card. Nobody, we felt like you couldn't put us out like that because we're not Pusher, we're not Tiana, we didn't have all the exposure that Cudi had, and definitely not Ye, you know, so we knew we couldn't come out like that. So when it didn't work out with us being the 6th album, we was happy with that because we knew we needed a real rollout, you know what I'm saying, to explain who we were.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, so what exactly, because I was just trying to understand what Yeezy Sound was, because it said y'all was the only ones released.
Yeah,
like only ones that released the project off Yeezy Sound. So what exactly was Yeezy Sound, or the intention of Yeezy Sound?
It was a platform. The actual term Yeezy Sound came from a guy named Noah Goldstein, who was one of Kanye's, what I would say was one of his best engineers, because he was one of the first time. And I've known all of Kanye engineers, and he was the one that kind of locked in with him so crazy that he just used to know what he wanted before he even said it. But Noah came up with that idea because at the time when we were at the Energy Center, everything was revolving around sound. Ye was into speakers, and he wanted to create a platform for music, kind of like a title. You know, everything was around sound. So Noah came up with this idea of Yeezy Sound because he had Yeezy. So it was like Yeezy Sound. He was like, that can be the label. That can be everything related to sound. Like it can be the label. It can be a streaming service. It can be, you know,
speakers.
So yeah, speakers. It was just a platform. Yeezy Sound was related to audio. You know what I mean? So the label side of this whole Yeezy Sound, we wasn't the only artists. If you look at that roster, you know, that roster had us, Tony Williams. He was bringing the Clips back together, you know, as a group. And it was also North was a part of that.
Yeah, so I saw Shot of Prince.
Yeah, and How the Prince. So that was the roster. But we were the only ones to date that ever actually released material under the platform. And you know, and now, you know, we're in a new situation. We're no longer associated with Yeezy Sound. We're on
we on Greg. We on Olskool label. We on Olskool label.
Yeah, my honest
the
music.
new project is completely produced by Young RJ from Slum Village.
Yeah.
We just I just talked to him like a month ago.
He
Young
RJ is so dope. He's so dope. Like,
so y'all on tour with them from Village?
Yeah. It starts actually the first date is April 4th.
Yeah, April 4th. This will be our first. This not our first. This won't be our first run with them. We did
this will be our first European.
It'll be our first European tour. We did a what was it? EP?
West Coast.
West Coast. We did the West Coast. We did a West Coast run with them, and I think that I'll just say that was definitely influential in us ending up on this European tour, because my understanding from their team is we did a good job.
We was talking about sound, so I just want you to talk about Abstract Mindstate sound. Like, what are y'all trying to put across in your music?
The same thing that we've always done. Lyrics. So we're not one of those groups where the beats beat the lyrics or the lyrics beat the beats. Like, we always seem to choose music and producers that we elevate their tracks and they elevate our sound, like our lyrics. It never fails. We've never worked with a producer where the sounds didn't meld. I don't know what that's about, but like this new project, and honestly, I didn't think after all of those years coming back together, the songs kept getting better and better and better. So Ye kept giving us more and more beats. We already had the beats, but he kept saying, do another song, do another song, do another song, because they kept getting better and better. And I honestly didn't think that a project that we did after Dreams Still Inspire would be better, but it is.
It is.
It's better than Dreams Still Inspire, and it's more hip hop. It's more, you know, boom bap. The tracks are.
We even more laser focused on our topics. Like it's a vibe. It's a vibe. It's different. It's very different from Dreams Still Inspire, but the same in the sense that we didn't.
I think we stayed on topic. I think Dreams Still Inspire. We had to. We couldn't get off topic.
It was. It was crazy, but it's a vibe though. It's a different vibe. Like that's how, like I say, we have Chicago soul, then you have Detroit soul, and both of them are soul, but they're two different styles of soul, you know.
And I'll go deeper than that. I'll say that Dreams Still Inspire, we was kind of proving to ourselves that we could still do it.
Yeah.
Like because we didn't know.
Yeah, that's true. Coming back after 16 years was of not even putting the pen to paper for ourselves, at least. That was a trip. So yeah.
So our project is we know we can do it.
Yeah,
we know we still
put it like this. Dreams Still Inspire was us getting back on the bike again to ride. And the art project is us popping willies and doing all the tricks that we used to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we pulled out our tricks this time. So that's why it's a better album. It's even more comfortable. We always comfortable. When we get together, when Abstract gets together, you know, we want to twin activate our powers or whatever. Like it's gonna be what it is. But this one and I'll say this, like for me personally, I got to rap on a sound that I always been very fond of. The whole, you know, that sound that Slum has, that thing that Dilla and T3 and by 10 created that has transcended, you know, into the slum core. We got to enjoy that sound through young RJ. He got to sprinkle a little of that sauce on us, and it was fun, man. We got to play in a new, like I always say, we got to swim in another pool, you know.
Yeah, I like the song, the single I heard, The True Story.
Yeah,
I like that one.
Yeah, shout out to young RJ and Dave Ordinary on that one. That was a collab. Shout out to Simpton Dele Matolo, the female vocalist on there. We got that. I don't know if you hear it. It got that little light because that's a South African co-producer and a South African vocalist. So it kind of got that little, you know, you getting a little bit of that kind of Afro beats vibe up in there along with the soul, you know. So
the EP, I want to ask you about they call it now, like it's like basically like right now you got a girl rap wave going on. So how do you feel about the that wave right now? Like it's a lot of girl rappers out, but they're not necessarily rapping about like their topics is not necessarily what like, you know, you got the Sexy Reds, you got the you know, you got a lot of them are vulgar.
Just listen to the names. Just listen to the names. And that'll tell you if you really want to hear. Listen, Sexy Red, Rhapsody. Who would you want to hear?
You don't want to ask me.
My fault. But no, I don't. I mean, Gre will tell you. He'll tell everybody else. I very, very seldomly listen to female MCs and rappers.
Yeah,
it's not. I'm still listening to Latifah, Lauren. You know what I'm saying? Rod Digger. I'm still listening to them.
Yeah. Like
I still, you know, these chicks now, they still don't listen. They not winning. Not against me. They're not against me, and not against Foxy. I mean, honestly, they not doper than Kim.
Yeah,
like they not doper than Kim, and Foxy would beat Kim down to the earth. You know what I'm saying? So they ain't got nothing for me. I don't want to hear it. You know.
I feel like you need to be giving out some master classes.
Hey. I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. I try to just let just let my lyrics and like Grease say, the you know what I'm saying, the arrogance in my rhymes. I just say it. And everybody that hear it can take. I just know it ain't too many females that really want to see me. You know what I'm saying? It ain't too many females that really want to see me as far as like in that dojo. So
I'm gonna say she get kind of slack, but what you think about Nikki?
Nah. It's Nikki
You don't
not
think
bad.
she can go with Foxy? You don't think she can hang with Foxy or Lil Kim? I think she
the old Nikki.
I was gonna say that too. The old Nikki, the
old Nikki before she got Barbied out. When she came in like giving it to him. Like she came in like she was scaring dudes.
Yeah,
but then she watered herself down. Didn't nobody even have to do it. She watered herself down, you know, to do whatever she to do whatever she did and to fit into whoever she wanted to be, songs she wanted to be on, and who I think she went more pop. Like I don't know, like a pop rap. But when she came in, it was hip hop. It was hip hop over some gangsta ass beats, but it was hip hop. And but then she just went like super Drake on me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and you know what? Though,
Drake got lyrics. Drake got lyrics.
I was about to say I wouldn't even give her like, because Drake's found a way to Drake found a way to do his kind of pop.
She do too.
But the only thing about Nikki is, in my opinion, is, I'm gonna use a term that my guy Sakaya used, and I thought it was dope. Nikki's whole everything about her she's a sore winner, is what I call her. A sore winner. I got that from Sakaya, meaning like you got everything, you pretty much won, but somehow your approach to everything you're doing is angry, like something like you're not in the place you're in, and it's affecting her artistry. And in my opinion, because I'm a purist, so I remember like E.P.
Hey, you remember when it happened, right? You remember when she started feeling. You remember who came out and she started. And
even
Cardi B.
Right. And it was just like I felt like that was the perfect time for her to just
go back to that thing,
or let the space, let it breathe, and let Cardi do her thing, and she just show and prove. But it just became a cat fight, and it started changing the focus. And Nikki had it, and somewhere in there, like I don't know, like EP said, it became more about, she stumbled upon that whatever that, I can't even remember it now, that first pop record on the first album. That was her exercising her creativity, and when she ended up getting a hit out of it, she almost didn't leave that space. She kept doing it. And the supporters like us who like the lyrical her, that was really, she didn't give it to her. And like I say, Drake still give it to us. Drake still gives us what, if we complain, like Drake, I like what he did this last time. He put out that record that I didn't care for at all. And then he realized Drake's smart. He realized the audience or his fan base or core fan base was like, man, what's up? You done hit us back to back with these, like,
lullabies.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But then he went and did the Scary Hours joint. And I love that Scary Hours EP, because he was just barring out lyric. He was talking. Drake knows how to talk his talk really good. And he's, and that's what I don't know. So that's Nikki. I'm not.
I will say this. I go back to your original question. Like, I love the fact that females are getting to shine now. I love it. I love it, because that means I will, and that means my group will. So that's it's due. It's due, because honestly, there's never been an era like this.
Yeah,
there's never been an era like this. Like you had Warren, you
a couple
had
of them sprinkled out,
over a period of time, but like all at once, when like it's so many coming from, it hasn't happened. It hasn't happened.
But I remember hearing though growing up, so shit, it was there. But I would say, did y'all have any memories of Boss?
Oh man, I used to love Boss. Come on now. Like I had that album, you know.
I wasn't a real fan, but Gre was.
Yeah, I was rocking with Boss. You know, everybody was on that record too. Like you remember all the interludes and skits was like all the Def Jam cats or whatever, like Sticky, like Onyx was on there. You know, she had AMG was on there. She just had a bunch of those. They put a supporting cast around her of a bunch of hot people too. So yeah, Boss was dope, man. Rest in peace to Boss. Like she put together a good record, you know. And if you peep, just like speaking to that, I was reading, I was on, you know, when I saw the post about her passing, I read some of the comments and somebody was like, yeah, her career went down the drain when she got discovered that she really wasn't, she was like a, you know, well off.
She wasn't gangster, yeah.
She wasn't gangster. And I was like, no, that wasn't the truth, because she put that, her record started off with an interlude from her mother saying, I don't know why you're doing this, you know,
right.
And it was Michelle or something. She was like, you come from a good household. She put it out herself. It was on the record. Like, you know, and her whole
They didn't discover nothing. They didn't lie about nothing.
I'm like, that wasn't the reason. That wasn't what happened with her. She was, I think, putting it out there that she was being rebellious against her upbringing, because she was brought up, you know, very silver spoon, but she decided she gonna hang in the streets and smoke and hang out with the, you know, with the gangsters, and that's what became her, you know.
So what would you say happened?
What happened to her career?
Yeah,
I think she was a little like a lot of, like even us. She was just a little ahead of her time. Boss was so gangster, like NWA, that it was just, I think, a little too hard to swallow then. You get what I'm saying? So she had a couple of hits and then it faded and then it went away. I think it was just too much. You got to realize how hard it was then on females. And that was unfair, because E.P will tell you, I absolutely love female MCs and always have. And it was hard. So, but Boss was almost she was almost like a dude. Remember, she had the lokes and the bandana. And she rapped with a gun in her hand and all, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just, I just think it was a little too much for whatever was trying to be her fan base. But she could rap though. She actually could rap, you know. So
then what y'all think about the I'm gonna ask y'all what y'all think about the Vultures. I know Vultures 2 about to come out, but did y'all listen to Vultures 1?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you ain't listen to it yet?
Nah, you know, our stuff sounds strange, but every time we're working, he seemed to be working. So, you know, I block all that out and just been focusing on our stuff. I haven't even, you know what I mean? We got so much going on right now with the new record and the tour that's coming and all of the business that's going on around that. And like EP just told you, she don't even, you know, if it's not us working, she don't really even be immersing herself in like all the hip hop, whatever that's going on. And me, it's too much going on with us, because I handle a lot of the business for us.
Handle all of the business.
Yeah, so you know, I haven't. I see clips just like everybody else that's going across Instagram, but I don't have time to really, you know what I mean? We don't have time to really get into that. It's like it's Abstract Mindstate, you know.
So what do y'all think about, just far as like you said, y'all started in the early 90s to now? So just what do you think about, just like, I guess, far as the rise and journey to hip hop since y'all been in the game?
Wanted to go back to 90s hip hop.
For real?
Really bad. I think, and I say this to myself, I hardly ever say it to anybody else, but I remember when gangster rap was like all the rave, reality, gangster rap, whatever moniker you use, and how that meant something for those times, right? That was because a lot of people that didn't rhyme like that also lived like that, right? Like, even though you know, I didn't rhyme like that, but I grew up like that. Like, you know, I sprinkle a little bit here and there, but the base of my rhymes was just lyrics. It wasn't really talking about, you know, my family and what we've been through and what we continue to go through and all of that different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But now, I guess with maturity, you just started realizing that that type of music was needed back then to do what it did, like bring attention to certain things, right? But now it's like we don't need it no more. You understand what I mean when I say we don't need it no more? It was a tool back then.
Yeah.
It was a tool for change. Like gangster rap, like that movie, that ended up that the Compton Boys in the Hood, whatever the name of it.
Yeah, Compton.
It was true. Like they needed. We saw why they made "Fuck the Police." Right. Like we saw why they made all of the songs that they did. They lived that, but they lived that so they kids didn't have to. And I know that's the biggest fucking cliche that people have ever. Well, I do this so you won't have to. That's true. So now, fast forward to 2024, your mama is a nurse at Rush Hospital. Why are you shooting up Inglewood? You didn't have to do it. You don't have to be that because dues have been paid for you prior, so you wouldn't have to. Right now, I won't even say that this is even akin to the gangster rap of the 90s. This is not akin to it. This is self-destruction. In its purest form. That's what this is, because the gangster rap back then was calling attention for change. It was calling attention to shit for change. This right here serves no purpose but
this right here is death and destruction. It's not.
That's all it is. It's dark. It's death. It's triple dark, death and destruction.
I saw out here where I live, I saw some graffiti on the wall over here, and I'm like, bro, like, first off, rent over here, just to rent something is about 3 G's. So everybody over here paying, working. It's a B city. I'm like, ain't nobody. People want to be. Everybody want to be gangster now. I'm like, this ain't no gangster. Like, I know where the hood at, and this is far from the hood.
You know what happened? I'll say this. I guess we sold it too good because our generation or the 90s era or just golden era, whatever you want to call it, that era back then, did such a good job telling the stories and painting the pictures because they were great lyricists. So the stories were told so well that the folklore or the tales of it all went on for generations, almost like the tales that we heard as African people or whatever, and they thought it was real. So somewhere in this generation or the last handful of years, they really are doing this stuff. And we already know back then it was all just a movie, kind of like Hollywood directors. Wasn't nobody, man, Onyx wasn't actually 100 deep in the street throwing their guns in the air. But that's what they said in the video, so throw your guns in the air. And they wasn't really doing that because guess what? You couldn't even have a successful career if you did that because you would end up in jail.
They did shoot up that Source Awards though.
No. But I'm saying this though. This is the reality of all of that. It's always the people who talk about it actually either lived it. Like for example, look at like 50 Cent. He actually was in the streets.
Yeah.
He actually was getting down like that. He got shot 9 times. But what is he doing right now? He just keep doing
everything. Entrepreneur.
He changed his life back then.
Exactly.
He stopped doing it back then.
And that's what I'm
still
saying.
rapping about it, but he stopped doing it.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. The difference between what the kids doing now, the EP was talking about with the death and destruction, 50 Cent talking about it because he lived it. These kids, they just skipping, they going right through it, and they getting in and they killing each other, and it's no, like I said, it's no, like EP just said a great thing when she said, it was fighting for change then. Now it's like just death and destruction because NWA and Public Enemy always were the same group in my eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Just one from the West Coast, one from the East Coast.
Yeah, they're the same group. It sounds funny until you really think about it. NWA was Public Enemy. They was just Malcolm versus Martin. You know what I'm saying? one of them was By Any Means Necessary. The other one was trying to like band everybody together. You know,
who was that? Who By Any Means Necessary? NWA.
NWA. Yeah, they was like, if we got to get the rifles, let's do it and get what we, you know, and you know, Public Enemy was like, come on, like we got to fight the power, we got to band together and da da da, you know. NWA was like, I don't care, we got to get the guns and shoot. We want our freedom.
What Pac said, we riot, not rally.
Right.
You know, West Coast riot, East Coast rally.
right. He said it.
Now I was noticing something yesterday because I went to one of my homies' house and he had on some Guru and some Grand Puba, and I was like, damn, this is kind of hitting me the same way. Like, you know how your grandparents used to listen to like Frankie Beverly and Mays, OJ's. Right. That's how that music hit me now. So I was like, oh, but I was like, dang, I don't be wanting to feel like that. But I was like, this music ain't giving me the same feeling as that music. Right? But they always be like, oh, you just get old. But no, it's true.
No, you know what? It's true all the way down to the frequencies. The frequencies. Right. Music frequency. Prince was really good at that. He understood frequencies. Man, the frequencies changed in the music. The lower vibrational frequencies excites different parts of our body, and those lower frequencies ignites lower self. So all of the dark, demonistic, all that stuff. When those dark chords, think about all that, the trap and all of that. It's those dark melodies and chords,
long bass out.
Man, and it's exciting. It's exciting something within you that's like in a darker space than, and then you go listen to, like you said, the Grand Poobahs and all of that. Man, all of that stuff made you feel so good and hopeful and, you know, charismatic and excited and happy. You know, it's definitely real.
And
it's real. You know,
it's working.
We always, if you listen to a whole album, you will hear me and EP talking about living life and life this, life, because it's about living. We want to live, and life is about living. We don't want, I would say I don't want to die. I don't want to get shot and killed. I want to live, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I want to live and travel and see the world. So we talk about it in our rhymes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think I was telling some dudes the same thing. I was saying, like, I would say the same thing about y'all. Like, I would say y'all make like that chakra music. Like when I listen to it, it feels good.
Oh, I love that. That's a bar. I'm keeping that.
Yeah, that is. I like that.
I'm keeping that chakra music.
Chakra music.
Yeah, you can feel it though. You feel it all in here. You like, yeah, that shit feel good. Like the beat.
I'm writing that down now. I'm writing that down.
That's good. Chakra music. We received that.
It's a whole song,
Yeah. I created a genre called adult contemporary hip hop.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just the space, and it's not about any age or anything like that. It's just about the sound and just saying it, you know, encompasses the traditional aesthetics of hip hop, which is just the boom bap, the lyrical, you know, cadences and all of that stuff. And that's what that chakra rap is, like just the stuff that get in your chakras and make you know what I mean? Like,
so yeah. And I was actually, I told y'all, are y'all like, I know y'all took the 16-year hiatus. Are y'all locked in now for 16 years, or what's the future hold for y'all?
It ain't gonna be no 16.
We just having fun, man. We just having fun, you know.
But why not? Why can't it be another 16?
Put it like this: the way we try to do it now is in a way that can set us up where we won't even have to do 16 more years of it. It'll be just, I mean, you know, if for some reason 16 years from now we still want to do music and we're capable, that's cool. But you know, we just want to you know, enjoy what we're doing and take it day by day, I guess, you know.
You know how old we'll be in 16 years.
I guess my whole thing is too, like, I know they always talk about age and hip hop, but everybody getting older. Shit, it ain't just you. If the fans get older, so it's like, does age really matter when everybody getting old together?
Oh, no. Age doesn't matter. It's just about your will.
Yeah,
Right.
age don't matter.
When I'm 68 years old, I don't want to be running across no stage. I want to be running across somebody's beach with a coconut in my damn hand, chilling, not having to do anything.
Look, living in Africa.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my dual citizenship.
Do y'all think hip hop is gonna stay alive?
Oh yeah, hip hop
is back now.
Y'all don't think it's gonna get y'all don't see it getting gentrified like the other arts we have?
Well, it already got gentrified. Like, so whatever gentrification that had happened, it already has happened. Like those who showed and proved rose to the top, and those who didn't, you know, we don't know about them. You know what I'm saying? I think hip hop is here to stay. Only thing we're hoping, and I know I can speak for both of us on this. Only thing we're hoping is to see it get back to the foundation, the lyrical side of it, the fun loving side of it, the light side, not the dark side. You know, that's what we mean when we say stuff like we want to see it go back to the way it was. We're not saying take us back to 1990. No, we're just saying bring that spirit back, because that spirit was a good time. That was positive.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, like how Ye said y'all music heals. Why do you believe your music heals?
Because it's the opposite of what's killing them. It's totally the opposite of destruction. Like our music, we talk about stuff to improve your life, not end it.
Mm-hmm. We speak life. EP said that in the rhyme. Speak life. We speak life. Like, you know what I mean? We are Abstract Mindstate is not we real food versus processed food. We're the home cooked meal versus McDonald's. We're the garden growing our own vegetables versus going to the grocery store.
GMOs. GMOs.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's it. That's you know, that's it right there.
And then what would y'all like to say to y'all fans and supporters?
Keep supporting.
We bringing the vibe back. We bringing the vibe back for y'all.
Yeah, help us.
Help us. For y'all.
Yeah, help us out.
Did y'all have them same? Was the same fans around, or did y'all have to like just get new fans, or were the same fans waiting on y'all from
both?
Yep, both.
Both.
Yep, there you go. Both. EP.
We got old fans and new fans, and surprisingly, 80% of our new fans are young fans.
Yeah, they are.
Listen to that bullshit.
Yeah, they're young.
But they've been needing something different.
Yep.
They don't want to die either.
Yeah, they've been talking to me at EP, man, a lot in our DMs and our IMs, all the different little things, man. They be talking to us. They be thanking us for this music and how they've been waiting for something like this. And you'll be surprised how many. AP said something in the other interview, something to the effect of if they're not exposed to it, how can they gravitate towards it? So you know what I'm saying? What I hope our fans do is help expose us more so we can be the option. Like EP said, we can offer, you know, some diversity. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of same old right now, unfortunately, in the rap arena, you know.
All right.
You know,
yeah, I want to say thank you for coming through politicking with me.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, let me ask you a question. Because you know we come from Chicago and you know do or die made pimping, but what's PoPolitickin?
Oh, I actually had I just interviewed AK like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm locked in. But my name is Chris Porter. So Po.
Oh, there it is. See, I didn't see. Now, if I didn't politicking just then, we wouldn't know.
Yeah, then we politicking. So
okay, there you go. I like it. All right, I like it. See how that made sense? That's Abstract Mindstate. It made sense.
How long you been doing this?
Man, I've been doing this since 2008.
Okay.
You're welcome, Kimmy Coop.
Yeah, I've been doing this since 2008. So I interviewed a lot of my favorite interview so far I had was Jay Prince. Jay Prince, my homie. I had him on the show like twice already. So
that's cool.
He just bought a 2,000 acre jungle.
Oh wow.
He already had an island.
Oh, wow.
So Jay Prince going crazy right now. Shout out to Jay Prince.
Because he know we gotta leave this place.
Yeah, he
gotta get up out of here.
We gotta get up out of this.
This boy about to implode.
The U.S. is
we gonna leave it to them ops. We gonna let them have this. We built it, but we gonna let them have this shit.
We gonna let them have it. We gonna go. we gonna get back to the land. We gonna get back to the land. The land want us back. We gonna get back to the land. They can have this.
I'm out of this bitch. I'm gonna give them 5 years. I'm giving 5 years, if that much. Don't let me hit the number. Hell, it's gonna be 3 months.
Look, Abstract Mindstate supporters. You know what I'm saying?
I was just gonna say I really appreciate talking to y'all too, man. I really appreciate it. I really enjoy y'all music, and it was good to hear about y'all, learn about y'all.
Man. Appreciate Thank you. Look, whoever listening worldwide, please catch us out on the Fun Since 92 tour with Slum Village,
First date April 4th, Bologna, Italy. Rome.
And definitely.
We out there from the 4th. We out there from the 4th to May 5th, April 4th to May 5th.
That's amazing.
A lot of dates for you to choose from. And please, please, please stream True Story. Abstract Mindstate. True Story is on all of the platforms.
First single off the brand new album that'll be out soon, called The Art Project.
Yes.
And are y'all happy that y'all
produced totally by Young RJ of Slum Village?
Are y'all happy that y'all reunited and came back and put some new music out?
Oh yeah, for sure. This has been fun. Like it's been fun. We always we crazy without the music. We just got so much years of jokes and time together but it is fun to make music with the time that we've had together, and you can add music into that. So hell yeah, it's been great.
Last thing, I was going to talk to y'all. I forgot to mention how it must be an underground railroad between Chicago and Mississippi, because my granddad was from Mississippi, from Chicago. It was a pipeline going from Chicago to Mississippi. Something going on right there. My
family's from Utica, Mississippi.
Okay.
Yep, right between Yazoo and Jackson.
Yeah. That's the results of the Great Migration. After slavery, when the Southerners were heading north for work, you trekking up 55. You trekking up 55 north. The first place you get to is the west side of Chicago. Chicago was the big place, was the major city. So Mississippi and Chicago are gonna always be linked. Forever.
Y'all want to hit them with y'all social media and anything?
Yeah. E.P.
I got it right there though.
Okay, you got it right there. Well, that's the groups.
That's definitely the group.
Mine is at E.P. D as in dog, A Hellcat.
Yep, and I'm at Olskool, but it's spelled OLSKOOL_ICEGRE. Olskool Ice-Gre. And then you see the groups. Like whoever's listening and watching, you can see the groups right there.
Yeah, I guess because somebody gonna be like, man, why you didn't ask them? So I gotta ask y'all how y'all came up with y'all names.
Matter of fact, some people might just be listening. So at Abstract Mindstate, how about that?
How did y'all come up with y'all names?
It was a change.
My original name was Ebony Portraits.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you talking about the group or our names?
Both, all three.
Okay. The group, yeah. Well, the group, we went through a change. We used to be a group called Mad Skills, and obviously, if you know about the rapper Mad Skills, that was one of the reasons we had to change our name. We feel like we had it before him, but he blew up and got a deal, so we had to change our name. But anyway, it was just a change in everything about us at the time, and we felt like our music was moving into a new space, and we felt like our mind state was just on something abstract. It's a story too how we ended up with the actual name Abstract Mindstate, but we was on a different page. We had moved to a different page from transitioning from Mad Skills to Abstract. And Olskool Ice-Gre, I always been Ice-Gre. That's been my rap name since I started. But the Olskool came in college. I became Olskool Ice-Gre in college. But it was just to pay respect the foundation, the forefathers who did it before me, because at one time Olskool was looked at as a sign of disrespect, and I just embraced it as a term of endearment to pay homage to the people who did it before us. And I added Olskool to Ice-Gre, so that's how mine happened.
Ebony, where the Hellcat come from?
Shit. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't even know when it was added. Honestly, I don't.
I remember when you added it, because I think when you put it in a rhyme and you start using it, because in the Stu Pastor wave you say E.P Da Hellcat, funky like, and you start using it, you start saying that, like, you used it.
I remember using it. I didn't remember calling myself that after that. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I was saying, and I was thinking about the Coop, but then the Coop, they saying that was a band too. But I was trying to think, I was like, well, the Coop might have been a duo, but they weren't a duo either. You remember the Coop?
The Coop. Yeah. You don't pronounce the P. It's the Coop. Oh. Yeah. I actually was at one point in time. I was cool with Boots. He used to, when I worked at Loud, he used to always come up to Loud, and me and him used to talk a lot. But the Cool, no, that was still two guys and a girl DJ. They were a male, a two-guy duo. They wasn't even, they just had a female DJ Pam. So that wasn't, nope, that's not it either. Abstract Mindstate still stands.
Just stop looking, man. Stop looking.
No, I'm just glad that I got some hip hop history that I can claim fame too, so I can be like, yep, I interviewed the first hip hop female and male rap duo. I had them on the podcast, so I make sure I represent. Anybody try to say anything else, they gotta come through me.
Right.
All right, y'all. We gonna have to get it y'all in the future, and y'all have a safe tour.
All right, man. Thank you for having us, brother.
And yeah, once again, stream, download True Story, Abstract Mindstate.
All right, y'all. We out. Make sure y'all get some merch off my website, PoPolitickin, at my Shopify.